Good morning. The title of today's devotional is A Life-Changing Difference. Let me say that again. A life-changing difference. One experience that I had stands out so very clearly in my mind as what I call a threshold experience. By threshold experience, I mean some singular event that, once having occurred, I can never go back into the prior room before, a prior thought, feeling, awareness again, without acknowledging that I have experienced something new, something different. The couple had called and asked to see me for counseling. The need was very urgent, and I rearranged the day to meet with them immediately. When they came in, she entered the room first, and I noticed some bruised places on her face and arms. He followed her and sat across the room from her. "Well," he said, "as you can see, my wife is black and blue." I turned, looking at her again, and responded, "Yes, I noticed the marks when she came into the room." "Well," he continued, "when I get angry, I can't control what I do." I asked him this very simple, straightforward question. Will you say out loud, "When I get angry, I won't control what I do"? "That's not what I said," he countered. "When I get angry, I can't control what I do." I tried again. Will you say out loud, "When I get angry, I won't control what I do"? "You're not listening to me," he said, angrily. I said, "When I get angry, I can't control what I do." "Yes," I responded, "I'm hearing exactly what you are saying. You're using the word can't, and I'm asking you to use the word won't." This conversation between the husband and I went on for some time, 5 or 10 minutes. Each time I would ask him to say out loud, "When I get angry, I won't control what I do." And he would continue arguing with me. Then, once more, I said, "Will you try, just once, saying out loud, 'When I get angry, I will not control what I do'?" Perhaps to placate me and benefit of the doubt, he decided to try out what I said. And he said out loud, "When I get angry, I won't control what I do." And when he said those words out loud, a light went on inside of him. I could see it in his eyes, his face, his expression. His facial muscles reflected a dramatic change, and even his body responded. He said it out loud again. "When I get angry, I won't control what I do." He said it again and again. "You mean," he asked, "that I am in control of what I do about my feelings?" Are you willing to make that in the form of a statement rather than a question?" I asked. And then he said out loud, "I am in control of what I do about my anger and with my anger, and about my feelings and with my feelings." He made it very strong and precise. The threshold had been crossed. He was in a different frame of mind through his own awareness of what he said out loud. I am in control of what I do about and with my anger and about and with my feelings. All of us have times when we feel strong feelings of anger. The difference is the threshold difference. My feelings do not control me. I control what I do about and with my feelings. I'd like to go and get in touch with this question from the standpoint of Jesus. You're familiar, I assume, with the three temptations that Jesus faced early on in his ministry. When Satan came to him, and the story is told in the Gospel of Matthew, and said, why don't you turn these stones into bread? And Jesus said, no, I refuse to do that. It wasn't that Jesus couldn't do it, because he did have the power to do it. He just decided that he would not use his power in that way. Often it comes back to a question of power. How do you use your power? How did Jesus use his power? And then Satan said, jump down from the top of the temple and land unharmed. Did Jesus have the power to do that? Yes, I believe he did. But he chose not to do that. All three of the temptations are based on the concept of and Jesus' willingness to use his power in a particular way. There are some other instances in Jesus' ministry, like when he's in the Garden of Gethsemane praying, Father, if it be thy will, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. I could get out of this, but I choose not to. And then again, finally, on the cross, and someone said, why don't you come down from the cross? Could Jesus have? Yes, I believe that he could have come down, used his power to come down off the cross. But he decides that he will not use his power in that way. And so he winds up, of course, being crucified for our sins, our mistakes, our errors, our sins. You and I are in charge of our lives unless we are giving our power away to someone else or something else. Be aware that you're going to have all sorts of feelings come into your life in different times, different experiences, but be aware that you do have the power to say, I will choose what to do about my feelings. They do not control me. I choose to do this with my feelings. It is one of the greatest statements, truths, awarenesses that you can possibly have in your life, to decide both to feel and to decide what you can do about and will do about your feelings. Let this be a day when you have a new awareness in your life, and it is an awareness for the presence and the power of Christ in you to do good.